In our homes, there are bound to be some problems, and sometimes it seems all will fall apart. If we're careful to follow simple principles of love, we will make a happy Christian home. Say sorry, please forgive me.
You are welcome to another episode of a weekly digest from Happy Family Counseling Foundation. As we look at this very important topic together, parental role in preparing boys and girls to become responsible husbands and wives. In our society today, we need our boys and girls to be well developed and well groomed to become wonderful materials for husband and wife. There are a lot of factors responsible for making each of us who we have grown up to be today. Nobody just developed a character overnight. Our character are as a result of our nature and our nurture. Nature as a result of genetic factors naturally inherited from our biological parents, and those are the internal factors that determines or dictate the kind of character we will build up. And nurture as a result of our environment and upbringing, which is regarded as the external factors that influences our character build up and our behavior generally in the society, and as we relate with our marital partner. Genetic factor and environmental factor both plays important role in character building of every individual. It is therefore very important to pay intentional attention to these two factors as we build up our boys and girls and prepare them for the future. And also, it is good for us to put it in mind that we have to build these boys and girls up to be husband and men that the society can respect in the future, and the ones that we too can be proud of, so that our girls can grow up to be women of virtue, women that will make us proud in the future. The gene we share from our parents can suggest certain possible characters and behavior, such as intellectual ability, personality, and even risk of mental illness sometimes. And that is a signal for singles to be careful and make a thorough finding to know where exactly they are picking their marital partner from. While the environment and home training plays a big role on character and behavior formation, nurture is a result of training we are subjected to, directly or indirectly. The behavior that children learn directly are the ones that we intentionally tell them about or guide them to do intentionally. Those are the direct ones. While the indirect ones are the behavior we carelessly display in our environment without taking into cognizance that these children learn from everything that is available in their environment. For example, even though you didn't tell your child that he or she have to lie to cover up some trash, but because the child have noticed you that you do that, either as a man to his mother, or as a woman to his father, every time or repeatedly, the child will eventually learn that kind of character, that you have to do it. And that is where you have to be very, very careful as parents. Go and look at the children that are used to abusive words or cursing at every slight issue that happens around them. You will discover that they actually imbibe such behavior from the daily exercise, the things that happens in their environment, either by their parents or people that lives with them as they grow up. Whereas such behavior may be very strange to some other individual or some other children that are brought up in an environment where abusive words or cursing is actually forbidden. So behavior can be learned and unlearned. Even some genetic inherited behavior can also be adjusted. This shows that parents and the society at large have a lot to do in preparing our boys and our girls to be great lovers in the future, to build them to become great husbands, to build them to become great wives that will give us the kind of peaceful society that we all desire. Children obviously learn a lot from their parents. A child brought up in a peaceful and loving environment and by loving parents and in a calm environment will certainly grow up to adopt behavior that has been learned from such an environment, and of course from the parents who are the major mentor for the children. Why the one nurtured from a violent parent and violent environment will grow up to become violent individual? It is just natural. You can now see why it can be so frustrating when a well brought up lady eventually fall in love with a boy that was not brought up well. Such relationship becomes an alloy of wood and iron, and then increases the rate of marital divorce in the society, which is not what we expect to see in our society. This video is particularly recorded for parents to know that they are expected to intentionally train their children so that somebody's son or somebody's daughter will not get frustrated in the future by marrying to another one that is not well trained. If you are not ready to train your child, then don't give back to a child. If what you desire is just to feed somebody, why don't you take the food to the motherless homes around you? Parenting is a responsibility that must be taken seriously, and nobody should joke with that. Every parent must know that you have to teach your children, either boy or girl, how to respect each other. That is when they will be able to respect in their relationship. They must learn how to be supportive. There are a lot of husbands and wives out there today because their background has been so weak and negatively affected. They don't know how to support their spouse. So teach them to be supportive. Teach them to be God-fearing. Teach them to be tolerant. Marriage is about tolerance. Behavior, good behavior in the society is about tolerance. We have to tolerate ourselves. Teach your children to be trustworthy, because whatever they are or whatever they learn at this stage is what they are taking into their marital relationship in the future. Teach them, bring them up in a romantic environment so that they can be loving husband and loving wife. Teach them to be accountable. You have given them a little responsibility to perform. Maybe money is involved. Teach them to be accountable. They will grow with it, and it will reflect in the man or woman they are becoming in the future. Teach them how to have plan. That is when they will be able to have good plan for their family as a responsible man and woman. Teach them to be financially disciplined. All these things are to be taught when they are still boys and girls. It is not when somebody now marry your son or your daughter that the person will now start to teach the person how to be financially disciplined. All these things must be done by the parents. Teach them how to resolve conflict. In the home, naturally, siblings will have issues within the house. That is the opportunity parents have to teach them how to resolve conflicts. Teach them to be self-disciplined in any ramification, to be self-disciplined. Teach them to be self-controlled as well. Teach them to be appreciative. A lot of wives are complaining today because little thing their husband don't know how to appreciate it. Vice versa. A lot of women don't know how to appreciate. And we believe that all this character has been built in them, or because we have not built the right character formation in them, that is why they don't know how to appreciate little things. Teach them that hard work pays. These are the education that parents ought to teach their children when they are still boys and girls. And these teachings will help them when they grow up to become husband and wife. Teach them to be democratic. That is when they will be able to know that they have to carry their wives and their children along in decision making within the family context. Teach them social skill so that they can relate well in their society. Let me say this: parents that relate well will likely produce children that can relate well with their marital partner. If they did not go with that kind of knowledge, there is nowhere to learn it when they are grown already. A child that grows in a hostile environment will likely grow up to be a hostile husband or hostile wife. It is automatic. And let me quickly add this: to those parents that beat themselves, that descend so low to beat themselves in the presence of their children, I say shame on you. You have failed already as parents. You have failed as husband and wife. And if care is not taken, you are already breeding another generation of failure. If you don't stop that character, yes, I'm addressing you. You have to stop it. Stop beating your wife. Stop fighting with your husband. It's a shameless act. Such environment where husband is a bully will produce a son that will grow up to be a terrorist husband and father or terrorist father in the future. Daughters of those kind of home that is being nurtured where things are in disarray will grow up to be a misandry. Misandry means women that discriminate or dislike or have prejudice against men, or simply call women that hate men. You have created that hatred in them because they have seen you beat their mother. They have seen you beat their father. Such are the ones that might kill their spouse, their husband in the future because of the experience they have in their head. And sons brought up in such environment where the wife beats or bully his husband, you are surprised. A lot of wives beat their husband, but those husbands cannot say it outside. They are keeping quiet. That is why society are forced to believe that it is only men that beat women. It is happening. A lot of men are suffering in their marriages. And if you breed your children in such an environment, your sons will grow up to be misogynist, woman hater. They will have tendency also of killing their wives with the slightest mistake. And that is why such thing is so common in society today. You will hear in the news that one husband snapped the wife, one wife snapped the husband. We need to check their background. They have a rotten background. Somebody somewhere, their parents have given them terrible, horrible, and horrifying orientation. Due to their very previous experience, they have developed that character, and they now believe that they have to be fast about it to eliminate the other one. And that is why such occurrence is common in our society. Parents, begin to rise up to your responsibility to train your children to become responsible men and women tomorrow. It seems the society sometimes ago shifted attention to raising and supporting female children when it was becoming obvious that the society or a lot of people discriminate against feminine gender. Look at the society today. The paradigm has shifted. Women are taking over everywhere. You see women everywhere. We need to wake up fast to shift our attention to support the male gender and nurture them well to be family men that will be responsible in the future. Equation must be balanced in raising responsible men and women. That is the point I'm making. Play your role as a parent to build a better society that will be manifested through marital satisfaction. Till next week, when another amazing educative video will come your way from Happy Family Counseling Foundation, I remain yours, Oluwarotimi Komalafe. Don't forget to like and share our video and also drop your comments. God bless you.
Say sorry, Please forgive me, I